Today's video, going to be doing the rear wheel bearing on this 2000 4Runner. First thing I want to do is jack up the rear and go ahead and put it on some jack stands. Then we can go ahead and take off the axles. 24mm for the drain plug. Got a new copper washer. We're going to go ahead and put the drain plug back in. 29 foot-pounds. 10mm for this speed sensor. $14mm. $10mm for the brake line. To make room for the puller, we're going to go ahead and punch out these studs real quick. I'm going to measure where the top of this ABS ring to the top of the axle. This way when we put everything back together, we can go ahead and press it back onto the same length. 25 to 1/16. This bearing puller, I got it right below the ABS ring. I'm going to use this Toyota bearing puller and then press down on the axle to pull everything off. So the Toyota tool is pulling on the wheel bearing tool. And of course we just have it sitting on the press. Have a socket to take up the slack. We're going to put something under so when the axle falls, it doesn't chew up the threads. I just have a bag of hoses since it's soft. Now we'll go ahead and press it down. Here's your ABS ring and your spacer. Above the wheel bearing, there's another spacer, and then there's a lock ring holding it in. We're going to go ahead and take that out. That snap ring was pretty tough just because it doesn't have the traditional holes where the snap ring pliers can hold onto it. So you saw that I had one end sticking out and then slowly just punch the rest of it away. It's not impossible, it's just tedious. But now that you got your snap ring off, we can go ahead and pull off our bearing. Now I just put 2 bolts on the Toyota tool to the wheel bearing. Now we'll just go ahead and hang it and press out the axle. Wheel bearing with a spacer. Gonna pull off our dust boot. Here's our dust boot. That bearing just fell out. Not expecting that. Got a new coil bearing. Go ahead and put our new dust shield on. Got our new dust cover on. Now we can go ahead and press it on. So I got some plates, the Toyota bearing tool, which pushes on the inside race of the bearing. You don't want to be putting on the outside or this sleeve, because that's what you're pushing against to slide the inner bearing to this axle. going to go ahead and seal in our backing plate to the bearing housing, 14 millimeter. Now we can go ahead and install our sleeve spacer, bevel end up. And there you go, snap ring is in. Gonna go ahead and throw in our ABS ring. ABS ring is set. Now I'll go ahead and press our sleeve back in. Alrighty. Good to go. We can go ahead and pull out our old seal. Here's our old seal. I just went ahead and used a screwdriver and just got off all the rust that's against the face, which is not the sealing surface. The sealing surface is going to be this outer lip, and on the inboard side is going to be the axle. So I went ahead and cleaned this up. Now we can go ahead and press in our new seal. Gonna go ahead and put our seal in. And there you go. New seal is in. We'll go ahead and throw some diff fluid on the inside so when we put in our axle, it doesn't go in dry. Gonna go ahead and put a little bit of clean oil on my finger. I'm gonna go ahead and lube up the inner seal before we put our axle. Gonna go ahead and open up the fill plug, 24 millimeter. What I found online, the diff calls for 2.6 quarts. Gonna go ahead and put the fill bolt. Torque is 29 foot-pounds. Now we can go ahead and install the nuts that hold it on. Torque I found online, 50 foot-pounds. Can't get a torque wrench on this last one, so we're just going to tighten it down by hand. Now we can go ahead and install our brake line. Go ahead and install our wheel speed sensor. I'm going to clean it off. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side off camera, and then we can bleed the brakes. Go ahead and crack the bleeder open. You'll get some fluid coming out. Make sure your master cylinder is topped off. Then you can go ahead and press the brake pedal and start getting the air out of the system. Tying it down, and you're good to go. And there you go. Once you bleed the brakes, you can go ahead and put your drums on, put your wheel on. And that's how you replace the rear wheel bearings on these 4Runners. Hopefully this video helps you. You have a good one.